But, you know, I'm hoping that they do the, like, permanent pass and things like that. So, you know, we could see some good shit coming from it. All right, let's watch this one. This one is like 4 minutes in already, but whatever, okay? Haven't played in ages, but I can provide you with gold if needed for sure. Hey, well, perfect. Nice. Thank you. All right, so Rave is playing Tremor War. Nice. So this is an offensive duelist. Miho is playing Scourge. So this, again, is... I couldn't even have a chance there. He's running Blood Magic, probably Sage yet. Sage. So Sage pairs well with Blood Magic for the sustainability element of everything and, you know, the rezzing and whatever. Cookie is playing Greysword Core Guardian, probably. He doesn't like playing Hammer, so again, this is a rotational damage dealer. Excuse me. Hollowsmith is running Elixir Hollow, so this is Demolishers with... What's he running? He's got Static Distant Kinetic Battery. He hasn't changed to the Power Wrench and Adrenal Implant build. Diverse is Hybrid, so running Chaos and dueling with Sage Amulet, Staff Axe Torch. So again, meta build. So Bruiser can do, you know, rotational damage if needs be. Very punishing with Confusion and Torment. Budget Singatron is also playing Mirage, carry an Amulet. Axe Torch Staff again. Running Illusions and dueling this time. No Chaos Straight Line like Diverse has. Empress is also playing Hollowsmith, so Elixir Hollow. Kinetic Battery, so this is Kinetic Battery Static Discharge probably. Again, Jack of all trades, rotational damage dealer, duelist, whatever it needs to be. Reliable Hospital is playing Firebrand Support. In pairing to Synedrida, who is Synod. Again, probably playing Curse of Soul Reaping. Yep. Standard. And then Leo is playing Chronomancer. So we actually have another Chronomancer in this AT. So Saru is playing Chrono, and now I Am Leo is playing. So I wonder why people are choosing to play Chronomancer. I'm not sure that it's actually like that viable. I think that it gets hard punished by a lot of things that are in the meta. As much as it is a 1vx and it's currently doing its job, it's pulling them away from the node. It doesn't really have as much sustainability as the like, other things that are in the meta that could easily sustain longer than it. So for example, Soulbeast, Spellbreaker. I think even a Hollow would have more sustainability than a Chronomancer here. So I do wonder why Chronomancer is kind of sneaking its way back in. I think it has way too many weaknesses in this meta. For sure. And especially he's pushing into Cookie right now, and he's hoping to do passive condition damage and stuff. It's not really going to pay off, because Cookie can clear those conditions and everything anyway. But he does have a ton of burst to hard punish the Chronomancer. You see, Cookie's just like quite easily sustaining this node as well without even being a duelist. It's quite fun. All he's doing is running around in circles, and he's sustaining. Now, Cookie, as a core guardian, has forced double answer. He's forced a Mirage and a Chronomancer to answer to him, and he's playing a core guardian. So I think that in itself is like a testament to how piss poor a Chronomancer is as a duelist. All right, so there is still there was a 4v4 going on in the mid. 2 players did go down in the mid, so they ripped the Firebrand and the Scourge there. And red team are taking mid, so that's pretty beneficial to the red team. They have the Mirage and they have Cookie, so Core Guardian and Mirage on the blue team close. Okay, they're far node. Diverse is going to pick up this node again. Cookie obviously applying the pressure whilst Diverse caps the node. So this is pretty standard play of a +1. Like I said yesterday, you +1, not only to create damage but to create pressure. And then whilst one of you pushes away, the other person holds the node. So Cookie is actually opting to hold the node here, which is pretty interesting. Diverse rotating mid to apply some pressure, some application of condition and torment. It kind of like, I wouldn't really go out of my way to apply conditions to anybody while they were around a Firebrand. I think if you're going to play Mirage, it's probably best to play on opposite nodes. So, it makes sense for Diverse to push into Budget Singatron here. Mainly because he's going to, apply more things in terms of pressure than he would if he was mid. So they've got to pull the side node game here. Again, Diverse is taking the node, and the Hollowsmith was attempting to create some pressure there to enable Diverse to do that. Blue team actually rotated straight from mid to take that node back. They saw that they were losing ownership of that. So now Diverse is trying to make that play back into mid, but I don't think he even had a portal to return to. He has placed his portal there, so he can return. But yeah, again, Warrior from the red team is pushing into mid, getting the decap there. Rave And then again, they have a 2v2 taking place on this red team close. So Holosmith getting hard pressured by both the Holo and the Mirage. Singatron is going to be doing more damage than Diverse because Singatron is running Carry and Amulet, so he's much hard punishment for the Holo in comparison. Their Holo, the blue team Holo, is actually being equally as hard punished by Diverse there. And actually, they've won that 2v2. So Astrotea goes down. Miho pushes in as well. Now, they're hoping to hard punish Singatron before he even reaches mid, because if he reaches mid, he'll get resustained by the Firebrand. If he goes down here, chances are that Reliable Hospital is going to be casting that Signet of Mercy down onto him and get him up. So the rotation there from Singatron wasn't just to run away. He is attempting to to be resustained by a particular person, and his Firebrand was on point. His Firebrand was watching the minimap and his party to make sure that he was going to be there if they needed it. So everybody has turned onto Reliable Hospital now. There's the Signet of Mercy res onto Singatron, and Singatron knows they've lost that little engagement there. So Singatron just immediately disengages away from that fight. He's like, well, fuck it. I can't win the 1v3, but what I can do is prevent that point gain. So again, really clever play. Even though Singatron did go down, he did disengage the correct way. The Firebrand responded. The Firebrand actually died as a result, and then Singatron, even after going down, got rallied by the Signet of Mercy and rotated straight back out to prevent the passive point gain. So in that time, the red team did pick up the mid node. So whilst the Firebrand and the Scourge actually moved off the node towards the Mirage, they picked up the mid. So that's a clever play to pull them away from the node. Again, they have the node contest, which is again by Cookie. Cookie, you see this, as I said before, the Chronomancer is being proven to be pretty unreliable. And it is because Cookie, as a core guardian, as a rotational damage dealer, is answering to the pressure of the Chronomancer. And that right there is like, if that's possible, if a rotational +1 damage dealer that's very, very squishy can sustain you as a duelist in a neutral and force another person to come answer you, that's really bad. Because, they just knew they couldn't do anything to the node. So it's a pretty obvious thing when you say, like, yeah, Chronomancer's pretty trash, and then there's people like, no, Chronomancer's good, and you're like, no, it's not. I mean, I know Cookie is pretty exceptional as a player, and, like, he does play in the highest levels of Legendary, and, he's XESL, but, it's still the case, all right? So Rave goes down, Spellbreaker has gone down in mid, might be able to get rallied. No, actually, no, the red team do not have... they don't have anything to res that, unfortunately. Apart from actually, wasn't Miho running Blood Magic? Yeah, he does actually. He has transfusion, so he could technically have pushed into that and used his F4, his Garish Pillar, and that would have pulled in Rave to him, and he would have been able to res him with the passive res field. The red team are ahead by 150 points here. They've taken this pretty quickly. It was very, very even for a short period. I'd say for the first 8 minutes or so. But red team have taken this away, recently. If they can sort of draw this game out and try and get their points to about 350, they could go and make a Lord Rush if they really wanted to. It depends if the blue team can commit to that, but they have to understand if they commit to a Lord push, then, they will, probably lose the game because the red team will just, decap all the nodes and defend. That's, one point to make is that the red team don't have Signet of Mercy, like I said, so if the Lord does go down, then they don't have a method of immediately resing that Lord. Besides, all of them committing to it and trying to res. Blue team do have 2 nodes. Mid node is going to remain contested because Singatron is here answering to Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough does have a lot of anti-condition into Singatron, so he still has his Contemplation of Purity. His Smite condition is back up now as well. He's disengaging away from mid because he doesn't want to die. So again, smart disengage potential from the core. He knows that he doesn't want to overcommit and then just die for free and create a numbers at disadvantage. Singatron has gone down in the 1v1 against the Holosmith, so Holo will cap that that close node for his for the red team, and red team will start ticking nodes again. Blue team did lose all ownership over the nodes that they had, so they have stopped gaining points, and red team are going to take that over again. So they did actually create like a deadline here. So this is 2 minutes worth of no point game for the red team, and blue team were slowly catching up again. The game is nowhere near over. There's 2 minutes left on the clock. There is a Lord still left in play that can provide 150 points, but it depends if they go for it. So I think for the blue team to actually, make something happen here and win, they do need to get 350 points, and they do need to kill the Lord. They have to do a Lord play. A minute and 40 seconds, 3-point cap won't be sufficient enough, so they have to, at some point, wipe the red team, or, you know, draw the red team to, like, say, you know, their close node. Sorry, so the red team would have to force blue team would have to force the red team to go to the blue team close node so that the red team is as far away as possible from their lord, and then push the lord. But okay, so you can see the Singatron's already had that idea. He's pushing for it. They don't have 350 yet though, so the lord play itself right now is probably not smart. They don't have the spread to actually, you know, be in a position where even if they get the lord, it's not going to pay off. They have to have 350 because it's 150 points from the lord. You know, Syndra's Synod is now pushing forward as well. Firebrand is now pushing for it. They have 50 seconds left on the clock. They can do this. You know, it's still something that they can push for, but they had to have points ticking at this point. They can't win this now. Actually, they can't. It's impossible. Even if they get lord play, it doesn't pay off. That'll take them to 466. They would be even with the red team, and that'd be it. They can't physically win the game. The game's over. And again, like, that would have had to have been something that they pushed in when they had the double node ownership. They would have had to have, like, you know, created some sort of pressure where the red team were forced to react, and then that gave them node spread. You know, they're pushing for it right now for no reason. There's no reason for them to be here now. And red team, you know, red team were ahead that entire game, but there were a lot of, like, close points where the blue team almost overtook, or they almost evenly matched, especially in the, like, 8th minute. Good game, but they definitely needed to realize that they needed that lord play. But again, you can't make a lord play until you hit 350, unfortunately. He doesn't look like Geralt. I mean, Geralt was never clean shaven. Like, I mean, he definitely needs some more stubble. He needs to look a bit more rugged. The hair definitely does not look real. But again, this is just like this is a photo op, right? It might look different on the set itself, so. Come on, guys. Like, stop judging the fucking series based on how, like, Henry Cavill looks, okay? The dude looks better than I'll ever look, all right? He's chiseled. He's got fucking, he used to be Superman. Like, he's a fucking movie star. All right? You're ruining, like, guys, come on, focus. This is an AT, all right? I gotta do my job, right? All right, Diverse PMA, still using his hybrid build. It's running Chaos Illusions, is it? Chaos and Dueling, sorry. With Staff, Axe Torch. This is Sage Amulet with Rune of the Nightmare. Paradix is playing Hollow Smith. Hello, babe. Alexa Hollow, again, still runs Kinetic Battery and Static Disc. Cookie is playing Firebrand Support and pairing to Miho. Miho is playing, what, Curse of Soul Reaping, yep. So Deadshot, etc., etc. Cookie's actually currently kiting as well, by the way, to negate the damage that's coming from Infernal Bloodstorm. And Rave is playing Trammel War. So this is, again, very offensive duelist. He's actually stowed himself there where the full counter was coming in from Dauntless. Again, nice play. That was a really good play as well from Dauntless. Pulls out the block shield and deflects the boulder right back at Rave. So Rave's currently taking ownership of this node. There's the full counter. Full counter gets interrupted. That was Bull's charge. They evade the full counter there. Nice. So the red team have a pretty stacked team, okay? And I actually really like the red team comp. The reason I like the red team comp is because of the map that they're on. They have Stillness to contest, they have Tranquility to contest, and they also have at least 2 nodes to contest simultaneously on top of that. And those are like the natural node contests. So that is like A, B, or C, you know, close, mid, far. So they have Diverse that is a 1v1. They have the Hollowsmith that is effectively a 1v1 or a duelist, 1vx. They have Cookie who can sustain and will be sustaining the Scourge here. So again, this is like pretty sustainable in itself. Aeon is getting hard pressured here by Miho as they try to get the res on Cookie. Oh, they got it! And they actually win that team fight in the mid. That's fucking big. That is enabling the red team to make a huge comeback here. So Aeon's going to go down to the pressure, and Aeon's going to be immediately stomped because they can't push him off the node. So I'll continue saying what I was saying. They have the team fight damage for things like that we just witnessed, and then they have Rave, who is going to be the 1vx as well. So they can just contest these nodes constantly, and they will be able to... All members of the team, besides the Scourge, can contest other nodes. On the blue team, they have the Firebrand support. They have Mystesia, which is, this is Carrion Amulet. So again, this is a duelist. Sorry, not a duelist, a bruiser. So a 1v1 bruiser on the side node. Doesn't really do tons of team fight damage, but does have enough damage to sustain 1v1s. So at the moment, they have, almost, you know, equal opportunity. Infernal Bloodstorm obviously being that team fight damage paired with Aeon. Aeon needs to be very careful not to leave the Scourge for too long. Dome is playing the rotational damage of Sword Dagger Thief. So again, Core Thief, +1s, decaps, you know, has good mobility. And then Dauntless playing the 1vx. So actually, the blue team are at a slight disadvantage, okay? But then you could argue that it's also an advantage, because if they have good rotational ability of the back of Dome, and Dome can create these very effective +1s that are going to, you know, result in ownership of nodes, then, you know, it could be beneficial to them. But, you know, when you actually look at it, they have one less node contester than the red team, you know, than their counterpart. So if Dome dies at any point in transition between nodes, hard punished by a duelist or something, then the blue team are immediately at a disadvantage. So Dome pretty much can't die this game. He can't be free food. So right now, Paradox is into the Mirage and the Thief. Thief is being interrupted by the Hollow. That's good awareness by the Hollow. He interrupted Dome even though. It's the Steel. There we go. So he uses the Dagger Storm. Diverse is on the fucking Stillness right now. Nobody's stopping him. Diverse gets it for free. Nice pickup by Diverse there. Very good awareness. And they actually get the res by Miho on the Blood Magic into Paxra. Wait, no, actually, he swapped from Blood Magic, didn't he? Yeah, he swapped. So that was just a natural res. So really good awareness there by Diverse. He saw an opportunity where the Thief was distracted and took the Stillness. So now red team are taking double node ticks. Diverse coming in to try and interrupt the res that's coming in from Dome. Again, Dome trying to utilize that sneaky ability, but Diverse well on top of that and knew exactly what was happening. So now Dome is pushing in straight away towards Tranquility, even though it's still a minute and 10 minutes away. A minute and 10 seconds away from being useful. Dome goes down, gets bled out. Rave is going to push past him, not even going to bleed him. Sorry, not going to stomp him. Gets bled. Rave and Diverse push into the mid, and they'll get to be able to resustain this team fight. So this is now a 4v2. Dome actually TP'd away and tried to rally, and Rave's like, no, fuck you. Comes in, arcing slices his face, and, you know, now hopes to waste his time even more. So Dome probably shouldn't have done that, but, you know, if Rave had pushed out, you know, and was seen, like, rotating towards, like, blue team close, for example, I would have thought that that was a good decision to self-res. So they get the neutral there in the mid. Dauntless still in the 1v1 against the Hollowsmith. Hollowsmith actually has the advantage here into this guy. I don't like that Dauntless is running Dagger. I don't think that that is something that's useful. That's a really lucky usage of his AoE Seismic Leap there, because he had to fully guess where that Hollowsmith was. The Hollowsmith was in stealth there and toss Elixir S, so Dauntless did a really, really good job there. That was very lucky. And that would have been enough to kill Paxra. So Paxra actually does not have... he doesn't have any passive, and he doesn't have any active defenses anymore. So... oh, wait. Wait, what? I could have sworn I saw him use his passive and his active. Huh. Alright, so red team get Tranquility of the pickoff of Rave. So now they need to try and, like, stack as many people on these nodes for defense. So again, as I said, they have a 3-node contest, and they also have the ability to pick up Tranquility and Stillness as needs be because of, you know, their dual abilities. So this is really important for the red team. They've got all 3 nodes ticking simultaneously. That's really, really good. And blue team are obviously still contesting that close node, so they have the warrior into the hollow. I would have thought Trauma War, like a Trauma War build here, would be very, very effective into the Hollowsmith. You know, Dagger Shield is actually much easier to contest as a hollow, so I'm kind of surprised that Dauntless has survived for so long. Dome has gone down as well, so that's in his rotation towards Dauntless. Again, as I said, if Dome goes down for free, then the blue team are going to get hard punished, and that's exactly what's happening. Dome trying to res himself again actually has Mystesia there to pick that up, so that's good. Contest in the mid, that is Scourge and Firebrand versus Scourge and Firebrand. The node belongs to the red team still, so this is actually like a... The blue team needs to wait for another person to push in to create that punishment. Someone needs to come in and, like, sit on Cookie, for example, in hard pressure. That person probably being Dome. Dome pushed far instead of pushing mid to get that neutral. I think there would have been more pressure in the mid had he tried that. Again, Hollowsmith disengaging an active Elixir S does have the chance to, you know, utilize terrain there with the Rifle 5. And actually pushes straight back in to eat 13 stacks of confusion, so he's got to be very careful coming out of that passive. Gets the leap through the water field. Mystesia has gone down. Dauntless forced to disengage in that 1v3, but he's not disengaging far. You know, he is looking to push back into that node to maintain neutrality, but you know, this is relatively smart by him. He didn't just leave the node completely. He obviously knows his job, and that is to maintain ownership of that node or to prevent ownership. So again, Cookie is holding this by himself. This is a Firebrand support. He's not moving because he doesn't feel that he needs to. Miho is in close proximity. He can TP to him if he needs to. Cookie sees that Miho has engaged in a fight, and he's like, well, fuck it. I'm going to come and push into this. So he used stealth. Sorry, he used swiftness, his symbol of swiftness, pushed into Miho, and now he's here to resustain Miho in that. Now, Miho did go down to the spam from Mystesia from the Mirage. Cookie Signet of Mercy's him, and now he's looking to push back into that mid node. That mid node did not get decapped. And Dome, you know, was trying to sneak in there to get that, but he was not quick enough. Stillness does come up in approximately 14 seconds, 12 seconds. However, I do think the red team is taking this completely. Now, this game was super, super close, right? And, you know, this is right here in the 7th minute. Okay, in the 7th minute, you can see that I believe the blue team actually picked up Stillness, but red team picked up Tranquility. And the blue team Stillness pickup actually meant nothing. So the red team gave that up just for free. They were like, well, fuck it. You know, it doesn't matter if they have Stillness. We're going to get Tranquility. They're not going to have any nodes ticking on the map. We've prioritized Tranquility, and we put our duelists on all the nodes. So when Tranquility went off, they had equal contest on all of the nodes. So it didn't really matter, you know, that the red team didn't get Stillness. The extra point tick is just a plus. But, you know, they played it strategically well. And they keep rotating players into these nodes to keep them owned. So that's good dueling by the Holosmith. You know, Crazy Dexay actually did a ton of good good kiting there. Really, really good node ownership by Rave, and Diverse was pretty useful in his rotations there as well. So, you know, GG's to both teams. That game just took off, and that was obviously from the pickup of Tranquility. And you know, the blue team just could not take the nodes back after that. There was not a lot of kills in that game, by the way. That's one thing to note. There was not a lot of kills. So, you know, that was all rotation based and, you know, neutral nodes. That's what you expect when you're in a duelist team. You know, if the team is like pretty heavy on the bruiser, on the duelist, on the bunker, you don't see a lot of kills. You just see a lot of like somebody pushing that person away from the node and picking it back up again in their favor, or just neutraling it out. And, you know, something like Tranquility came in and just forced everybody away from those nodes. And then they just, you know, held them. They just held them in place. So really, really good play. I mean, that's just pure rotation. So, you know, I do sympathize with that situation, and it does suck. All right. So this has the ability to be a good game. It may not be, but it has the ability to be one. Stronlo is playing Druid. This is a bunker. It has more sustain than it does damage. Joby is playing Scourge. Again, I would probably expect Joby to run Curse of Soribing, so he is. Deadshot. Illegal Math playing Sword Dagger Weaver, so again, this is a duelist. So this is duelist and the duelist, actually, into Rave. Rave is kind of just like not winning right now. Illegal Math is actually a very good Sword Dagger Weaver, so I expect that this will probably remain in the favor of the red team for a while until blue team gets a rotational +1. I would expect the Holosmith probably to push into this, if anything. May... he was actually pushing in as I said that. Look at him. He's right there. Commit to it and make me look good. What the fuck? All right, Shiryu is playing Rifle Deadeye. This is pretty good. Hard punishes the Firebrand. He just took a shitload of damage. Really good. Gonna get the Deadeye's... sorry, the Death's Judgment on there. They get the Stomp. So... if anything carries this game, it will be the Rifle Deadeye. And the reason it's going to carry is because Firebrands are very, very susceptible to the unblockable hits of Death's Judgment. And there is a lot of stealth potential on this build, okay? So watch this ability. It's the one that draws a laser to the opponent. Deadeye's Mark. There's the shield. He tried to get the Death's Judgment there, but that was Rave using full counter. And then they get to hard pressure. They keep the pressure up, and they're going to try and get the Stomp. The Signet Mercy coming in from Cookie. They get the Signet Mercy res. There we go. So, and then finally you have Equa, who is playing Firebrand support, and this is the pairing to the Scourge, which is Joby. Diverse is playing, he's still playing his hybrid output. So again, gets a lot of self-sustain on the False Oasis from the healing power of the Sage Amulet that he's running. He gets to heal for about 10,500. Paxra is playing Elixir Hollow still with... let's see what he's running, actually. Has he changed anything? I didn't see him with any kinetic battery stacks. Yeah, it is kinetic battery. What am I talking about? I read it and then I was like, kinetic charge? It just has a slightly different name. I was like, wait, what? Anyway, he didn't have any at the time where I would have normally seen it, so... I wanted to confirm that. So again, has kinetic battery and static disc. Cookie is still playing fire and support. He just ate a shitload of damage. That was about like 13k he took in a single death judgment. Miho still playing Scourge, and then Rave Spellbreaker. So 1vx duelist. So these teams are actually relatively equal. You know, they have the support, they have a bunker, they have another duelist. They have team fight damage and they have a rotational damage dealer, and this damage dealer is very, very good into the blue team comp. And diverse is bruiser, duelist, support, team fight, and duelist. So again, the red team have the ability to create an advantage based off of the rotations of Shiryu. If Shiryu can actually make something happen with his unblockable damage and hard punish Cookie. Over and over again. Not to forget to mention that he also has Mercy, so he can double Deadeye's Mark. He can double Boon Rip. He can double Stun, double Daze, and get that double uptime of Fury, Might, Swiftness, Vigor, and Quickness. So it doesn't really matter if Cookie puts up that bubble, or 2 bubbles, or 3 bubbles. Shiryu will be able to hit through it with the Death Judgment. So at the same time, instead of using the bubbles here, Shiryu is, he's unable to hit through this terrain. So Cookie is aware of where Shiryu is, and he's telling Miho to stand with him so that Shiryu can't gain those hits. That was a good push by Paxra, who came in and hard punished Shiryu. While Shiryu's down, blue team have the advantage. So blue team are currently picking up red team close, as you can see. Illegal Math just lost into into Rave, and I think that's because Paxra made that short rotation into hard punish Illegal Math, and then immediately pushed out of that node back into mid, and he killed Shiryu on that push back. So, yeah, blue team are actually ahead in this, as I said. So Shiryu's down, they have no fucking damage pressure, and the duelist capability of the blue team actually gets to start, doing its work. So Rave he's not just AFK in the middle of the node, he knew that Shiryu was pushing in towards him, so he immediately went behind the crates there, just so that, there was no free damage. There was no utilization of him out in the open. So Rave's not just sitting there still. He has come up to push pressure into Stronlo. He does have the mage tether on Stronlo as well. So once that stab is gone, which it just went, he pulled back on the mage tether, and now Stronlo is disengaging in stealth. That's, again, the utilization of knowing that Rave does not have stab. He pushed him away with Longbow 4 and, disengaged back towards his teammates where they needed resustain. So Equa keeping Joby alive. Stronlo's still here in the 4v4. Paxra and Diverse are sitting there off node slightly, and Cookie is being hard punished away from Miho. Miho can try and come in here, probably going to drop the Ghastly Breach, I would expect. Actually does not have it. So Cookie goes down for free. And now Miho is forced to disengage because he's like, well, I can't eat that damage for free. I gotta wait. And then Stronlo utilizes the lack of stab. The stab has just been activated by Miho. Actually, no, sorry. Wait, was it? No, it was. He did use Trail of Anguish, but stability was removed. So now with Cookie being down and just being on respawn, he's going to be coming out of base, but they're going to be able to pick up the external node here for free. Stronlo taking this by himself. Illegal Math pushes towards the blue team close. He's going to get that for free. You can see that Shiryu is hanging around to make sure that if anybody does pressure in, he can hard pressure them away. That's counter pressure. And Rave is now still contesting the red team close, and nobody's immediately answering to that. So watch the rotations of Joby and Equa right now. They're like, do we go mid or do we actually push into Rave and get that decap? They could do either or, but they'd be handing over the mid node to the blue team for free if they did that. So they have to like kind of weigh this up. It's like, can Stronlo, for example, sustain this 1v1 in the mid, pull them away from that node, and just say, well, pay attention to me, and, we're going to keep you away from that node, keep it neutral. And you can see that actually the push into Rave from Equa and Joby is actually leading towards this node belonging to them. Rave can't handle that. He's like, well, I know I can't stand under that. That's impossible. So Rave's just waiting for them to disengage. He's waiting for one of them. Because whilst there's 2 of them there, he's creating that 1v2. Again, as I said, duelists, they make a 1v2. They create their numbers disadvantage, and that's exactly what they want. So now, Miho and Cookie come through the portal that was put down by Diverse, And now they come into hard pressure Joby. Watch and see if there's going to be a res here. So there was no Signet of Mercy to be utilized by Equa. So the hard pressure there was really, really good onto Joby. And Equa's now kiting. But now Equa becomes that sort of like that bunker. He's now that 1v3. He is now 1v3. He's sustaining the Firebrand. He's sustaining the Scourge. He has the Spellbreaker there. So again, this is an advantage. That is a horrible... That is a disgusting knockdown. That is exactly what I was talking about. When you run Trauma War, you have the ability to just hard punish when your opponent doesn't have any stab, right? So Rave just stun locked him. He used Bull's Charge. He used the Shield 4. And now he has the ability to utilize Rampage to hard punish Equa again. So Miho and Cookie push back into the node. Rave's going to disengage because he's like, well, I don't need to be here. So really, really smart awareness by Rave as well, because again, that is an equal matchup on that close node. It's a Firebrand and Scourge into a Firebrand and Scourge, and Joby is actually already low. One thing to note is that Equa does still have his Signet of Mercy, so it was not on cooldown for the last fight, but it is this time. So again, Miho and Cookie are trying to keep the pressure on Joby. They're not just, blindly standing there. They don't want Joby to resustain, and that's the one reason why they're trying to like keep as much damage on him as possible. It pressures Equa out of a lot of cooldowns, and then as soon as Joby goes down, he actually thought that Joby was going to go down there. He started pre-casting Signet of Mercy. So again, Rave rotated towards mid. He's getting his pressure onto Shiryu. Shiryu's going to stay down here, so him and Diverse are now going to push into Illegal Math. Illegal Math is going to get pressured in this 2v1 as well. But he'll do a good job sustaining this for as long as he can, and then as soon as he can't anymore, he would probably blink out. But does he even have blink? He doesn't have blink. So his only utilization would be on Air Attunement and Air Attunement 4 to dash out. How common are revs in the ATs? Very common, actually. It's just kind of weird there isn't one in this fight. So Paxra is in the 1v1 against Chrono. So blue team currently owning this. They get the cannon for free. That's the second cannon they just picked up. So that's actually, 25 for the first one, and you get 50 on the second one. You cap another one, you get 75. You cap a fourth one, you get 100, right? But if it's your first cap, it's only 25. It's just when it's your second cap, it's 50. Third cap is 75. Fourth cap is 100. Chrono is very hard punishing on this Hollow again. Utilizes the fact that the Hollow had no stability there, so he pushes him out of node, gets the free decap, and now this play is back in neutral. Hollow's going to be forced to utilize line of sight here, so he gets straight out in the Toss Elixir S, goes into stealth, and tries to get behind those pillars. He does not want Chrono to get that for free, though, so he's got to try and force Chrono to use his Signet of Stone or to disengage in stealth and use that Trollong unit. So again, Chrono's standing point blank and eating that damage, but he still has his emergency go-to button, which is Signet of Stone. So he is doing a really good job here. He does have the evasion potential on Sword too. So again, this has gone back into the favor of Hollow. As the Hollow forced Chrono away with the Prime Light Beam, he's able to, keep hard punishing Chrono while he goes into stealth. He wants Chrono to use that. He wants Signet of Stone on cooldown, because Chrono gets passive toughness while he's got that, and he also gets, once that's on cooldown for 40 seconds, he has the ability to really hard punish Chrono. So, again, this is something where Chrono's being forced to disengage, and he will come back in and push back into it, but Paxra, for the time being, is going to be owning that node, and there is a rotation coming in from the Rifle Thief, who now is saying, no, we don't want you to own this node, we need to be the preventative here. So they force Paxra to use the active Elixir S, so he goes into immunity, he can't contest node, and now Shiryu, he won't be able to win this. He needs to be careful not to hard pressure himself, or be hard pressured himself, I should say, because he came in, he got knocked down. He's already got what he wants, but he wants to give the node over to Chrono. Chrono now has that node ownership, so red team now have double node split, and now Shiryu's going to leave again. He wasn't going to be able to kill the Hollow by himself, but his pressure alone was enough to hand it back over to Chrono. But it was very short-lived again, because Diverse came in and reset that once again. So that's a +1 from the Mirage saying, we don't want you to own that node. We're going to hand this back to our team. Whether it's neutral or what, it doesn't matter, because we have the mid node. Shiryu makes the rotation mid to try and get the decap. Cookie responds to that. And now Shiryu is going to be trying to hard punish him with a bit of a spike damage. I would say that Shiryu's better off rotating towards cannon. He doesn't want Diverse to get this for free either. So if Diverse caps this, is going to give the blue team a 75-point gain, and they'll take a hard lead. Still a neutral point here on the blue team close. There is... so the Sword Dagger Weaver and the Firebrand support here I guess the Firebrand is actually going to try and be here to prevent the cap of the node and remain neutral. So Illegal Math is going to be on respawn now for the next 10 seconds. And I guess the Firebrand might push in to contest into the Spellbreaker. But if Miho stays, he can't really do it. So this is double node pickup for the blue team. I think that the Firebrand... so yeah, Cookie and Diverse were actually contesting into Shiryu and Joby. Diverse's damage, you know, with Cookie's CC ability there actually meant that Joby goes down. Blue team will get 75 points here on the triple cap. Or sorry, the third cap, I should say. Not the triple. They don't have 3 simultaneously. Miho is pushing in for sustainability as well. And there's the pickup. So that's 75 points. And that gives the blue team a huge lead on that timeline. You can see that jump. This game has been back and forth throughout. So blue team making a huge comeback. Actually, they've been in the deficit for the last 7 minutes. And they need to now work on getting these nodes pulled away from the blue team. Joby will probably lose this 1v1. There's Illegal Math and Shiryu coming in as well. So that's, again, hard pressure from Rave. They get the neutral of that node, and they need to pick one up. They need to actually gain ownership over a node. Echo goes down. Nobody's going to be able to pick Echo up. So Diverse is probably going to go and just hard pressure that body so they get him on respawn. At this point, any points, you know, will finish the game. They don't have another cannon coming up anytime soon. And at the moment, you know, there's only like, 20 seconds left on the clock with a single node ownership. So Rave is going to be capping that node. Red team have pretty much accepted defeat here. Illegal Math is like, oh, we can't win. He's not even trying to stand on the node. They're handing it over. So, you know, well played to both teams. That game went back and forth so much. And that cannon right there, that cannon play at the very end is what actually certified that win for the blue team. That was a really, really good game. Really, really good. That showcased, you know, really, really good rotations. And, you know, really good, you know, duelist play from, you know, even from Stronlo, from the Hollow, and from the Warrior. And even Illegal Math on the Weaver. Like, they all did really good jobs there contesting those nodes. So well played. All right, so this is a very high-level game. We've got, like, so this could go one-sided, it could not. All right, so I'm not going to make any promises initially, but I'm hoping for a close game. Groshton still playing his offensive Firebrand build, looking to be effectively a duelist on the side node. Phaleth is playing rotational damage dealer rifle Deadeye, so again, trying to make those... Oh, dude, he just keeps killing them with fucking Deadeye Smite. That's really smart, actually, because it resets on the kill. So that's a really good way of actually clearing through the phantasms and stuff. But yeah, he's going to be trying to land his Death's Judgment and just, like, punish players that get, like, tons of blocks up. Big Daddy Coda is playing Sword, Warhorn, I want to say Axe Dagger. Clicked on the wrong guy. Yep, so Axe Dagger with Paladins. Again, this is a duelist build, looking for the 1vx. Happy Cardboard Box is playing Court Guardian. I think he runs Greatsword. Yeah, he's running Greatsword. And then you have Floody, who is playing Hollowsmith with the Elixir Hollows. Hog Champ Eric, dude. 6 months, man. Thank you very much, dude. 6 fucking months, dude. We'll play some Black Ops later, okay? Skiki is playing Power Shiro Rev, rotational +1. Flandry is playing Carrion Amulet Mirage, so this is running Axe Torch and Staff. He always runs Staff. Wingmon Cherry is playing Scourge Necromancer, so this is in pairing with Reliable Hospital, who's Chunzu. He's playing Firebrand Support. And Wing is probably playing Curse of Soriping, right? Yep, Curse of Soriping on Deadshot. And Dauntless still being the 1vx. He's actually running Dagger Shield with Greatsword. And again, this is running Endure Pain, Balance Stance, and Berserker Stance. So he has a pretty well-rounded utility kit. But again, looking for the 1vx on the side node. So at the moment, the game is pretty even. Blue team are ahead, but red team are the only team with any nodes on the map. That node is currently uncontested as well. So we would probably expect somebody like Flandry or Skiki to push into that, or maybe even Dauntless. It's kind of interesting that he rotated back mid. I guess he wanted to prevent the cap from the red team. He got 1v2'd. And then the Thief has rotated back towards this red team close. And blue team are actually like hard farming red team here. So, you know, you've got the punishment there on the Soul Beast. They've got the punishment directly on the Floody as well, who died there. And now I do believe that Phaleth was trying to get the disengage, which he did. And now he's possibly going to go and contest onto the A node. It depends where he looks to push into for the +1 or a plus, you know, if there will be a +1 at all. Kona is rezzing himself because you never leave a ranger in downstate. You don't do that. They're going to res themselves quicker than you can fucking, you know, get that answer to them. That's ranger downstate 3. He reses himself at the same speed plus the effect of essentially having a player res you. I always stomp rangers unless I know for a fact that I can just watch them permanently. That's really silly. Grosjeton dies into Wing and the Firebrand, and there was Kiki here as well. So they leave him down. He is, he's just, you know, spamming one. He wasn't trying to keep himself alive or anything. Flandry is actually underneath there as well, I believe. Oh, wait, sorry, Phaleth. Phaleth was underneath the node. Okay, so Skyhammer's in play. Wing is on the Skyhammer right now, possibly going to have the Firebrand stick around that entrance to be ready to answer to it, should he need to. Phaleth looking to get that decap in mid, uncontested. Okay, so he walks in, interrupts him on the Rifle 3, and that was a free cap for the blue team. So anything owned by the red team there has just been initially decapped. The Core Guardian getting hard pressure by Sakiki. Sakiki obviously playing Power Shiro Rev. Gets eaten up by some of the... I think that was probably Retaliation that killed him there. And possibly Prime Light. Actually, no, he's not running Prime Light on Floody, is he? He was running Elixir X, so he possibly came through. They knocked him down. Okay, so... The Revenant, Core Guardian resustains off of that damage. Flandry goes down to that punishment as well, so they re-engage back onto the Mirage. And now... Why are they opting not to cap? It's like they're trying to pick between capping and not capping. C is still uncontested, so red team still have one node ticking. Blue team still have the mid node ticking. They need to cap this ASAP. What the hell? Okay, that was a nice knockdown from Rifle 4 by Floody. He knocks Flandry away from the res that was coming from Dauntless. They finish him off. Kiki is being hard pressured here. Infused Light has been used, so that's his resustain. He uses Terrain to get out of that. Staff 5 to knock everybody down, but now he's kind of cucked. He doesn't have any easy method out, so he's waiting on somebody else to resustain him. Wing comes in to relieve some pressure, and there is the... he's actually... Wait, he just re-engaged as well without... That's so dangerous. Re-engaging without Infused Light. Sakiki just pretty much solidified his own death there. He signed his own death certificate. They're giving him freedom to get the decap. Hello? That was one tick away. What are you doing? That's sloppy play, dude. All right, Wing is going to die here into the 1v2. And he's going to be left up on that platform. Grosjeton, why? Wait, what is this about? Why are they doing this? That's unnecessary. They probably could have rotated back mid and to try and answer to the Firebrand. Firebrand has been AFK in mid, and now he's going to possibly rotate towards C node. That's under contest by the Soul Beast and the Core Guardian answering to the Mirage and to the Spellbreaker. Now, I would say that the Core Guardian and the Soul Beast actually have the better matchup here, and that's obviously what's happened. Phaleth pushes in and gets the unblockable hits on Adornus as well. They get to put him back on respawn. Wing now rotating out as well. Nobody from red is actually pushed in towards B, but Phaleth is now there to get that decap. He's going to get it before Wing gets there. Red team still own close and far. So this is actually really, really good for the red team. They're going to be taking a lead here until the blue team can actually get some form of push. Okay, so I mean, if they can put down the Core Guardian, which they have, that's really important. They wouldn't necessarily leave him to bleed, though. You know, there are plenty of opportunities for him to get rallied. There is a 1v1 taking place, so Grosjeton playing his Firebrand build into Dauntless. Dauntless doesn't have as much sustain into that. He doesn't really have a method of punishing him either, because he's not running Tremor War. He can't utilize, you know, stab and stuff like that. So instead, he's pushing into Skyhammer to answer to Phaleth, which is, you know, relatively smart. It's an alternative method of actually pushing Grosjeton away from his node. So he knows he can't win the 1v1, but he pushes in to be the duelist on the external influence. He's going to rotate back out now as well, considering that the Firebrand and the Mirage are here as well. He doesn't need to be there on top of that. So instead of, you know, overcommitting too many people, he's now returning to his node in contest with Floody as well. Utilizes the Stunbreak of Endure Pain to get straight back on that node. Floody is pushing in as well. He wants to try and get the knockdown onto Floody. It did not work because Floody just Tornado 5 straight in. That's the Elixir X usage. Floody doesn't have Elixir S active. He does not have Photon Wall either, and he is about to get hard pressured. So all he can do is wait for the passive to activate. Mage Bane Tether pulls him back down. That's the passive. And if he doesn't have some form of using the jumping puzzle here, which he's attempting to use, he's been scuffed there. So that +1 there from Sakiki was enough to grant that point straight back to Dauntless. So Dauntless is going to stay here and cap. Blue team did have ownership over mid, but that's been decapped by Phaleth in transition. The Skyhammer is still under contest as well, so Grosjeton is here against Flandry and so that's the Firebrand and a Mirage against the Core Guardian and a Firebrand. But Grosjeton obviously being more offensive than he is defensive, so he does have tons of self-sustain kit. He's going to be forced to leave here, otherwise Flandry's going to follow him. Flandry still follows anyway. This could go either way. I mean, Flandry, if he actually manages to clear the conditions, Flandry could die here. Don't overcommit. Grosjeton's looking for it. He jumps down as Flandry comes up. That's the resustain coming up. I kind of want to see what happens here. What the hell? Dauntless comes in to try and hard punish as well. Can't get the interrupt. Ghost, he's been so close to that. What? What just happened? What? I guess he got interrupted on the jump and it launched him. That's hilarious. Okay, so Flandry in close pursuit. Once again, blue team closing this gap. They were at like a 60-point deficit and they're making this closer by the minute. Or by the second, I should say. Soul Beast currently contesting on the C node. That's answered to by Dauntless. So Duelist into Duelist. A node is actually uncontested completely. And Skyhammer's being picked up by the blue team. So it looks like the red team actually lost that node. Okay, so that means all nodes are now reset. Blue team have the the favorable lead here after capping that. The red team are only 30 points ahead, but this could quite easily go back towards the blue team's favor. All it takes is just an equal rotational play like they've just experienced. So Flooddy's now picking up the A node by himself, uncontested. This node's still neutral in 1v1, but Soul Beast is winning the matchup currently. And blue team look to be winning the mid node as well, but they're fighting underneath. So Grosjeton being stomped, put straight out of his misery, and now the Core Guardian being heavily pressured by Sakiki goes down, going to be left to bleed out. I probably would have done a little bit of damage, because if he gets that 5-second window where he can use Symbol of Judgment, he could self-res. This might actually happen. He's trying it right now. So this is what I'm talking about. So he's utilizing the pulsing res of that 3 plus the 4. Okay, and Reliable Hospital comes in and sees what's happening and just understands that that's the only way of actually cucking him. So blue team have mid node is getting decap because Reliable Hospital had to rotate off. Grosjeton gets the full decap. Now we have offensive Firebrand into sustainable Firebrand. It's going to be a complete stalemate. So this is a 1v1 stalemate. Flandry into Floody. Floody's going to get like pretty hard punished by Flandry. So Flandry gets to pick up of the A node. He can't really answer to it. He's forced to disengage here and he uses the jumping puzzle appropriately to do so. Flandry might also have portal play in the back of his mind. Never mind, he hasn't placed his portal anywhere, but if he does disengage, he drops the portal. So he can return to this node if he needs to. Can you show Phaleth's build? No, I wasn't reading chat, but there you go. It's pretty much meta. Dagger pistol with rifle, agility, energy, absorption, exploitation, scholar, marauder, deadly arts, trickery, and deadeye. Okay, that's pretty much standard. It's only going to be his weapon set, the fact that he's using sword pistol. Okay. All right, so Dauntless actually has ownership over this node. I guess he got +1, and that was enough for them to give up ownership. Wing is actually utilizing jumping puzzles very fucking well, okay? So the Scourge play, utilizing kites, had the shade exactly where he wanted to be. He is preventing the cap there by applying as much condition application as possible. Now it's a 2v1 into Kona. Kona will actually get very hard punished by condition application as well. So he knows that he can't stay there on that node in open line of sight of the Scourge. So as soon as he pushes into Wing, he's going to eat a load of conditions here. Wing is baiting him in with low health. I mean, arguably, like, Kona is doing the right job keeping 2 people in a single location, which, you know, is smart. And, you know, that's the right play for the red team. But the blue team have actually taken the lead here with 40 points up. You can see that Grosjeton is actually currently trying to cap his close node. Zanz, aka Floody, is actually dead in the transition there. So Kiki and Flandry picked him up, or picked him off rather. Core Guardian rotating in towards Cherry. They actually get the res there from Dauntless. They couldn't get up to him quick enough because obviously he was on top of terrain. So red team have actually picked up 2 nodes as well. So this is going to go back in the favor of the red team the way that this is, because blue team don't currently own anything. Skyhammer's going to be coming up momentarily on top of this. So if red team manage to get Skyhammer pick up as well, because they're about to give up their close and far nodes simultaneously, they need to find a way of, like, you know, breaking those simultaneously. So when Skyhammer comes into play, they need to answer that. So here we go. It's now in play. Red team need this. This needs to be a red team pickup in order to keep this, like, ticking in their favor. So Phaleth currently trying to answer to the Firebrand and Scourge. That's not going to happen by yourself, buddy. You know that for a fact. It's not worth you doing. Cardboard Box has died off in the rotation there as well. Unable to get the res there, so Floody trying to answer to Sakiki. Does Sakiki have Infused Light? He does not, so he could die in this this rotation. Floody gets debated down. Phaleth did not hit in his Kiki. Phaleth is like, nah, fuck this. I'm going for the Skyhammer. So Phaleth is trying to get the decap there, which is great. This point is neutral, this point is capped. So C node needs to be decapped by Skyhammer. Okay, the Groston is actually, you know, kiting and sustaining. Nobody from blue team actually answering to this, so this means a flat-out Skyhammer for the red team. That means that they do actually get the preventative measure for the point gain that previously existed. So Flandry is being forced away from the node. Floody and Kona now answering to Flandry. Flandry using terrain here to try and disengage, but this will not work. Phaleth is here as well. Sakiki is here as well. If they win this 3v2, this is very, very good for the red team. This will bring them straight back into the game. There's a minute and 52 seconds left on the clock. They get the straight stomp onto Flandry. Red team are now going to own 2 nodes. Somebody needs to own B. Somebody needs to defend B. So we can see that Reliable Hospital is actually currently following, or Groston is rather still following. Wait, who is that? Wait, sorry, Cardboard Box is following Reliable Hospital. And actually, that was very smart play there by Reliable Hospital. He saw that he was rotating mid and that the Core Guardian was in close pursuit, and he actually turned away and forced the Core Guardian to chase. And that actually in itself prevented the decap in mid, or the ownership of mid, because he would have actually sustained as the core into the Firebrand. Roy, thank you very much for the host, by the way, dude. Thank you for that payback. I needed that. So Flandry goes down after roaming into the 1v3. Dauntless is possibly going to go down here as well. They got the unblockable damage from Phaleth. Reliable Hospital here as well. They're not going to get another Skyhammer. So the ownership of the nodes right now is super important. Anybody that dies actually potentially gives up this game. There's 45 seconds in this. They have equal node ownership, so this is going to come down to a big fucking team fight in the mid. Whoever dies throws this game. If blue team lose, like, say, 3 players, that's it. All right? But one decap could change the game, dude. They have one person AFK. Wing is AFK on close. And you can see that Kona is AFK. Phaleth goes down. No! Are they getting the res? They get the stomp. This is solidified. This is a 100% win for the blue team. This is close as fuck. There's no way that this goes any other way. Groston goes down as well. That is secured. That is completely secured. That's awesome. 5 seconds left. Really, really close game. That's awesome. Poggers. Roy, thank you once again for the host, man. You're huge. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Tenebrae is playing Power Show Rev Rotational +1. Esma is playing Carrion Amulet, Staff Axe Torch Mirage. Flash and Nia is playing Elixir Hollowsmith, so Duelist. This looks like meta. He's got Elixir X, so he's actually running Power Wrench and Adrenal Implant. That's really cool. He's actually running the new meta. Aeon is playing Firebrand Support, of course, and then Mystesia is playing Mirage. Again, Carrion Amulet with Staff Axe Torch. So they have 2 bruises, 1 rotation. Vern, thank you for the resub, man. 5 months, big boy. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it. So yeah, they have essentially rotational support, 2 bruises, 1 duelist, 1 rotational damage dealer. So it's somewhat a meta comp, but the double Mirage, they need to make use of, like, actually running portals and, you know, rotating with those portals. Windranker is playing, this is Trammel War, so duelist, 1BX, very offensive. Kazu is playing the same build. Yes, playing the same build. Wait, Axe Shield. He's running Axe instead of Sword. Okay. But so he doesn't really get to utilize the Savage Leap mobility of the Sword ability. I guess it kind of can work. It does have the offensive output, so he can punish even more. But you use the Savage Leap on the Sword too to, like, pull the chain. So you get to leap while you have the chain attached to your target, and then you knock them down. It's kind of like another method of CCing them as part of your, like, CC output. So you have, like, Bull's Charge and Shield 4. But, you know, he can find other ways of doing that. Maybe using Greysword 5 to do the same job. Luna Senior playing what looks to be... Yeah, so this is Sword Dagger Core. He's running Withdraw and Roll for Initiative, so they kind of give that away. Pancake the Reaper still opting to play the Blood Magic trait line with Sage Amulet to resustain players who go down. And Faceless Foster still playing the support Chronomancer. So again, running Illusions of Life and getting the sustain coming from the Scourge to aid that should he need to revive somebody when the Illusion of Life runs out. So, you know, the Blood Magic, you know, and the Chronomancer does pair relatively well together, but it's more about, like, why you would run Chronomancer as opposed to Firebrand. I do think that Firebrand would bring more utility, more sustainability, and more team play, but, you know, I'm not going to force you to play the meta every single time that you play the game. Just play what you enjoy, and Faceless Foster obviously enjoys playing Mesmer and wanted to create something that was, you know, beneficial to his team, you know, offer something that he enjoys without playing Firebrand. So, at the moment, this is currently like it's a 4v3. Red team... Wait, no, this is a 3v3. Because there's a person on each node. So there is Mystesia into the Spellbreaker on the red team close. There is a Mesmer and Spellbreaker matchup taking place in the mid as well. That's on Young Kazu. So that's over... Wait. There it is. Using my keybinds, I forgot the numbers. Okay, so Esma wins the 1v1 there into the Warrior. Young Kazu is on respawn for another 15 seconds. The Warrior Mirage matchup is currently going in the favor of the Mirage here on the red team close as well. So Mirage may win overall. Mirage can get hard punished by a Thief as well in rotation. So Luna may be able to punish here if he does get the Consume Plasma. He just got interrupted on the one Consume. He's disengaged to Consume there, and he's going to rotate back in with a Sword too and try to punish. So he kind of sucks that he lost one of the Consume Plasmas, the active of the F2 there. He did land the steal. He's consuming. He's going to go back in and now punish. So he's utilizing disengage potential here to at least ensure that he does get the consume. He's going to be forced to go back out on the sword too, and that's smart. He has his disengage ready already, you know, just in case things turn hairy. So he has then pushed into Mystesia. And Esma is in follow, so this is currently double Mirage into the Spellbreaker and the Thief. They're both very low, and this is going to force either both of them to disengage or they will both die. Luna tries to re-engage on Mystesia. It has, you know, knocked down the Spellbreaker, but Luna's gone down as well, and Mystesia does get out on the portal. Does the portal stomp for complete BM? So... fuck me. Luna's going to be bled out. Windranker obviously going to be back up in about 5 seconds. Kazu is forcing the rotation towards his close node in the 1v2. So this is actually pretty beneficial. It's Duelist and Firebrand. So this is effectively like the rotational bunker, the support. So whilst Aeon was actually here, this was pretty good for Kazu. The node still belongs to him. Creating the 1v2... he will lose this if he doesn't actually manage to punish this passive Elixir S usage. Dodge of the throw boulder. Misses the follow-up of the dash as well, simply because of terrain usage. He ended up going into the hedge. So good disengage potential there from the Hollow. And now he's going to be forced to answer the Mirage, and he doesn't really have that much anti-condition kit left. He's just... he's so lucky. Don't cast anything. There we go. He almost cast into the confusion and killed himself there, which is pretty monk-S. So Windranker goes down yet again to Mystesia. Did have the +1 there from Tenebrae, the rotational +1 of the Revenant. There is the absolute spam coming out onto the Scourge. If he lands enough Connie damage onto the Revenant here, this is going to force Tenebrae to disengage with Infused Light. He hasn't used it yet. He's waiting for somebody to jump on him, so he's going to engage on the fight. Actually swaps out of Glint to immediately go offensive here. That was the phase reversal follow-up, straight back into Glint Spec. Knockdown used of the Elite gets dodged by the Spellbreaker. Does have the follow-up of the autos. Infused Light used as well. We're expecting Kazu to potentially maybe use full counter. And that's a really, really smart play. So he gets in on the phase reversal there yet again and puts down young Kazu, aka the Spellbreaker. So Red Team can actually make something happen here, and they can continue their lead. One node does get decapped in that process though. Windranker's just come straight out of base rather than go straight to close node. Mystesia is down off. Esma's picking him up as well though. Luna will not have the he will not have the cleave to actually punish the Mirage here. He's forced to kind of disengage. Maybe if he gets Consumed Plasma on the steals, he may be able to do it. Nope. So Mirage does get rallied, and Luna is he's only surviving on 5% health. He needs to try and get as far away as possible from Esma to be able to get out of combat, which he's doing, and now his health is going up. They re-engage to prevent that passive gain. He did land the steal, so he will get Consumed Plasma active. And now he's probably going to try and resustain his teammates down here, so he's... okay, trying to keep Esma busy, I guess, but young Kazu is going to go down. Faceless Foster does go down as well. This may solidify the win for the red team. Blue team not being contested on their close, but they don't really need to. They're winning everywhere else. Luna attempts the decap. Mystesia jaunts straight onto his face. And now Luna is trying to utilize Dagger Storm here to break down the the clones and shit and utilize the evade frame, but steel's coming up. He could use it. He lands the steel. Will get the consume plasma active. He's just used it. You can't see it because it's a spectator bug, but this actually makes it very much so in his favor. He's actually casting through confusion right now and almost killed himself with that active of Shadow Return, even though this does remove conditions on active. Lands, actually, I believe the steal was evaded there, so Luna's forced to disengage here. He does not have consumed plasma this turn around. He could, however, get the decap in mid. This might be Mystesia's portal. He might come and try and answer to that. There's the portal. He doesn't get the preventative, so Luna did actually achieve what he wanted. That's a good rotation, but Mystesia is here to prevent any further cap. Luna may actually be able to get back to this before Esma can answer this. There's the Jaunt. There's the X3 as well. Luna does not actually have... He's already used the Consume Plasma. There's the second active of it. They can beat Esma here. All it takes is Sword 2 into the Steel. Spam the 1, and there we go. So he's got the Cleave. Tenebrae is already using Infused Light to see if he can... He actually chooses not to re-engage on that. There's the Phase Reversal... Oh, no, he switched straight away. So he did use Phase Reversal and then switch back into Glint Spec very, very quickly. And he doesn't have Infused Light because he already wasted it in the disengage. So he's going to get hard pressured here. Tries to Death Strike back out. And that was not enough. Faceless Foster and the Spellbreaker were in close pursuit. Now, this is going back and forth. Blue team are actually capping mid right now. They do have ownership over the two side nodes. This is once again being contested by the Spellbreaker into the Mirage. And Hollowsmith into Spellbreaker. Young Kazu did not get there in time. So that now is a free neutral for the red team. Blue team will come back from this. If the red team did not manage to get the decap here, the blue team will overtake them. Young Kazu is going to be forced to disengage here. He should not stay. Aeon's here to resustain as well. They're abusing the lack of stun break here as well. Gets resustained by Faceless Foster. Does have the Evade Frame on Bull's Charge for further disengage. Mystesia just stays up there and gets the cap. That's pretty smart. But blue team are pretty close in on this. They're not very far behind. Got to watch what Tenebrae is doing over here. So he might go straight in for the decap. He does have Luna looking after him to try and answer to that. Luna at this point he's picking the 1v1 even though he shouldn't, but he doesn't want to give the node up because he wants his team to take the lead. So even if he eventually dies, at this point, okay, now it's he should just disengage. It's not worth it. Okay, he's doing it. So he's disengaging slightly in the duel because he knows that he's given up the node. It's not worth that engagement any further. Mystesia is still in this 3v3. If he does go down, Aeon could pick him up. So Aeon is obviously the priority target here. They don't have a method of rezzing. So blue team are going to pick this node back up, and that is the blue team close. Faceless Foster is going to stay here. They're going to rotate back mid, and they still have ownership over the far node as well. So Tenebrae is actually forcing his way over there to get the decap. That's neutral coming up. And Esma's now in the 1v1 against the Spellbreaker. Now, they need a +1 ASAP to punish this Mirage away and actually turn this back towards the blue team's ownership. Hollow is pressured back in towards Faceless Foster and Pancake. Hollow will not be able to sustain this. He's going to be forced to disengage. Even with Mystesia here, this is still going to be in the favor of the Scourge and the Mirage. Sorry, the Scourge and the Chronomancer. Luna eating some burst there from Mystesia from the Mirage. Forced to use Signet of Agility very, very early there. So he does not have any active condition removal. He's trying to land the steal. And this right here is actually a pretty fucked up spot on the map. It doesn't let you traverse. That's not his fault. He didn't realize that. Flash and Ears to the Hollowsmith goes down in rotation off node from close. Red team are picking up the red team close node, and now blue team are going to flood in towards mid to try and get that decap. Faceless Foster gets the illusion of life directly on top of Young Kazu, so they need to make something happen here ASAP, otherwise Young Kazu is going to go down again. Faceless Foster does have Continuum Split to bring that back up should he need to. He'll probably drop the Time Warp and then use Continuum Split. Time Warp, Continuum Split, it's too late. Way too late to get the illusion of life. Way, way too late. But the Alacrity does help in killing Aeon, so that's really, really useful. They get the flat neutral in the mid, and there's only 2 points in this shit right now. So as soon as Aeon goes down, that will jump up by a little bit. But now Faceless Foster's forced to answer to Tenebrae. Faceless Foster actually does not have the benefit in this matchup. he would do if he had passive condition application, but now there's actually the Mirage here as well. Where is the blue team to answer to this? Luna should be here. Okay, so they get the close node for the blue team. Far node is still contested. Windraker into the Hollow. He jumped behind the Hollow's photon wall, which is actually really smart. He landed the knockdown there because he jumped behind it. Now they're maintaining neutral. Luna comes in for the +1. The Hollow is forced to disengage straight away, uses the Elixir S active. Luna's not wasting any more time here. And now he does have he will be getting the Consumed Plasma, probably. Jumps straight in on the Revenant. I would have jumped in on the Mesmer and got the Consumed Plasma. I think that would have been more useful. Watch Aeon possibly getting the Signet of Mercy. Does not manage to channel anything. Is getting hard focused by a 4-man spam. And Esma's possibly next. Luna gets the Immobilize on the Sword 2 there. Can follow up with the steal as well. Lands the steal, has Consumed Plasma. Just chooses to Dagger Storm on his face. It's BM as fuck. One more hit. So now Esma is actually more like a rally bot. So even though red team do have both side nodes, it's not going to be for very long. Flashing here forced to get the disengage. And there is currently a Mirage versus Chrono mirror matchup. So I think blue team are going to take this. They will be picking up the red team close, I believe. Actually, maybe not, because red team members are respawning and coming out to answer to this. So there's the Infused Light active on the Revenant. He disengages with Staff 3. Aeon is obviously trying to resustain that as well. Flasheneer just opting to try and get the ownership of the node. They know they need passive point gain. But there's nobody really like rotating to get the decap there in mid. So Pancake gets to hold that for free. Does have Luna contesting into that. And Luna's +1 onto Mystesia actually means that the blue team are going to hold that node. This is 100% for the blue team. This is a really close game. Really, really close game. Almost a full 15 minutes. Pog. Doesn't really matter what the red team do now. Nice. Really good play. So that was actually a really good final. I'm pretty happy that it was as close as it was. I bet my nose looks like a fucking clown right now. Okay. Okay, so we do have a Weaver as suspected. He is running with Menders, so again, this is just like a really, really obnoxious bunker that just farms evades. Shadon is playing Core Guardian, Core Hammer Guardian. Sir is playing Carrion, Axe, Torch, possibly with Staff. With Staff, so a Bruiser build. Hitterlock is playing... Is this Power? Yeah, so he's running Marauders, Rune of the Links for the movement speed. Domination, Dueling Mirage. Has the Mantra of Pain for the Power Spike. And yeah, this is just looking to do some really, really heavy power burst damage to... I guess this is probably better as a spec into something heavily like focused on immobile champs, but... Or immobile characters, I should say, or classes. But you see, the blue team have so much mobility to keep up with him that he's not really going to be able to utilize his output. You know, you've got the Revenant, you've got the Deadeye. Even another Mirage is able to just stand on top of you. So it's not something I think would be that beneficial, like, you know, long term. And then Ezeki is playing Trauma War. So this is an offensive duelist. Soul Beast is very good, by the way, Nico. Very, very good. Very good. Okay, so Aeon is playing, again, this is the 5-round support with Signet of Mercy. Gonna be sort of like operating kind of like a bunker. But I would say in the majority, rotating around and trying to sustain teammates. Mystesia is playing also Power Spike, but with Berserk. No, Demolishes. Okay, so he had less health, so I just assumed. But this again is with Great Sword and then Sword Torch, so has the evade frame of the Sword too, and the disengage of the Torch. Gets the Signet of Mercy res from Aeon, so Aeon was very, very aware of what was happening, rotated straight back in to resustain and reset the fight. However, as a result of that rotation that was picked up by Sir, he went straight back in and decapped and is now capping the mid node. So Aeon has to be careful that when they overcommit, they potentially give up the node. Phalith obviously playing Rifle Deadeye with DP offhand, or offset I should say, has Mercy, Signet of Agility, Shadow Step, and Dagger Storm. So same build that we saw him using before. Running Marauders with Scholar. Should be able to pick off classes very, very quickly and very effectively. Maybe we'll see him get a spike here. That's a 5.9, follow up with 4.6, 2.6, 2.6 again. Has used Mercy as well, I think, for a stun break, but both to reset the Deadey's mark as well. He's actually switched back to DP Thief there. And that was pretty smart to do that because he was able to interrupt the Weaver straight away and then follow up with like dagger pistol shenanigans. Lands the fucking Death's Judgment, but Pain Lotus has gone down. They need to try to get this shit down. Holy fuck, what the hell? Dude, Phaleth is trying so hard to get this to turn. So now this is actually pretty good for the blue team because they do have the node ticking. Over here, well, they did have the node ticking. They have, they've won the mid node, so Ezeki and Sir both down here as well. So I guess Phaleth is going to like deal with that in passing. And now blue team is flooding in towards their close to answer to a Mega Ufsaw. You have Zintrex who's now answering to the Weaver. And the +1, that is Pain Lotus. So Pain Lotus is looking for his opportunity to spike in. He's going to count the evades. He doesn't want to waste anything. So there he goes. He knows that's the Water 2. That's the Earth 2. That is his utility spam. That's his blink. So now he's pretty much free damage. He's free damage, but Zintrex did manage to cap that node whilst he was there. So that was a really smart play by Pain. He didn't actually overcommit to the Weaver. He made sure that Zintrex capped the node, and then as soon as that was done, he disengaged back in towards mid to try and create some form of strategic advantage. Hitterlock is down as well. It looks like Phaleth is going to be getting that node. So he was here to answer to Hitterlock portaling out, or Hitterlock used the portal to try to get out, but didn't actually quite manage to apply the F to the usage. So he picks off Ezeki, the Spellbreaker, in passing. Once again, we do have a 2v1 taking place into Mystesia. Mystesia does go down. Power Shatter is much more susceptible to damage, to being spiked on, than the other condition builds, like with Starfax Torch on condition, for example. So they don't really have as much to answer to. All right, that's really good. They get Sir down. They pull Omega Ufsaw off the node with the Mage Tether. He's going to get shut down here by Phaleth. Like, Phaleth should be able to keep up with him and shut him down. He doesn't have any evades left, really. Right, gets the 1 Death Judgment off, uses the Rifle 3 for the might gain. So he's actually using his Signet of Agility very offensively. So when he uses that, he doesn't actually get any more condition removal, apart from his Rifle 4. So he used it to make sure that he stayed in stealth there, so that he would be able to pass through unnoticed. So again, utilizing the mobility of Thief to go and get that decap. Okay, so he saw an opportunity, it was open, and instead of just overcommitting to the team fight, he prioritized the node. Jumps straight up to punish Hitterlock. Hitterlock doesn't even Hitterlock made a mistake there. He didn't realize that he didn't have the portal exit, or sorry, the portal entrance already. So he put down the portal, sword 2'd. I think anyway. I think this is what he was thinking. He put down the portal thinking that he was going to get out, and unfortunately, there was no exit for his disengage. So all right, so we have blue team currently in the lead. They have recently taken that. They were at a deficit to begin with. We are 6 minutes into the game right now. Sir dodged that somehow. I didn't even see the evade frame until after. Maybe he was out of range, but we didn't see the marker there. Nice. It's about 10,000 damage already applied. That's the Water 2. Earth 2. Does he have utility left? That's a nice play. So he was working with who was it? Was it Sir that was aware there? Yeah, so Sir was aware of that he was struggling, so he came in and ported him out. Clever. All right, so Zintrex still engaged in the 1v2 here. Zintrex did have the Mage Tether on Sir right there. Pain Lotus is currently using Infused Light, or was about to use Infused Light. Did he already use it? No, that was... What? Am I getting a spectator bug here? He was already in Glim. What? Signet Mercy Res coming out of Aeon. So resets the fight once again, and Aeon is capping this node. Maintaining the node whilst the team fight takes place. So good play by the Firebrand. Aeon needs to be careful not to move off the node. Sir is standing there with him, or with her rather, just so that there is a potential as soon as he moves off that they cap the node. Or decap the node, I should say. Okay, so we can see that that Phaleth is actually being picked off on mid transition, and Mystesia has been taken from the mid. So again, this means that the red team will pick up this close node, their close node rather, and the midpoint. But we do see Zintrex pushing straight in towards that node, so that is far for the blue team. So this means that actually there's equal node share at the moment. I think that the Firebrand should be able to sustain the output. It's only condition application, but he's... Okay, so Aeon's like moved off the node now and has fully committed towards sustaining Pain. Pain needs to come closer so that she can use Merciful Intervention. Unfortunately, Pain was standing on no port so that he wouldn't get spiked out by the Core Guardian, and then Aeon overcommit without having any form of disengage. So that means that they're going to get... They got that neutral on the close. Phaleth needs to try and get the decap in the mid ASAP. There is a 1v1 taking place, Warrior to Warrior, on this node that's owned by Zintrex. There's a spectator bug at the moment, so blue team are ticking on this node. It's not neutral. Full counter usage. Greatsword 3 for evade, dodges over his head, and then possibly uses shield 5 now. There's shield 5. So he uses the block, dodges the application of the rampage. They both use full counter simultaneously. Actually, Zintrex didn't use full counter until just now. He interrupted on the last second there. So that's really, really well played by Zintrex into the 1v1 Warrior duel. Now, both Mirages are here simultaneously. They have the condition application and they have the power spike damage. So Hitterlock, remember, is the spike damage of the Mirage, and then you have Sir, who is the Condi application. Hitterlock takes the portal back mid to try and contest into Mystesia. Mystesia would... actually, this is a power on power, so it's just whoever actually lands the spike first. Red pick up their home node, the blue team close, so the far node for the red. Zintrex could win this, but it's 50-50. He needs to not cast so much through confusion. Gets the daze on Rampage, pulls with the Magebane Tether on the Sword 2, gets resustained by Aeon, which is great. Phaleth is here as well to hard punish Sir. This should be an easy kill for Sir, actually. He didn't know where Sir went, so that was the shitty bit for him there. Sir utilizing no port spots as well in order to avoid the damage from Phaleth. Alright, so yeah, blue team are going to maintain that node. Mystesia still engaged in a 1v1 against the Weaver. Now, I'm not sure if the Power Mirage actually wins into Weaver. I don't know if that works. I feel like it's probably not going to, right? I mean, Mystesia's running... Wait, Mystesia's not... Why did I think he was Power? Did he play Power last time? Oh, I've got this wrong this entire time. He was running Power last game. And I just assumed. Bollocks. Okay, so he's actually running the Carrion Starfax Torch build. So this is a very, very efficient 1v1 build. He's not running the power build. Jesus Christ, dude. Axe Pistol Power Mez can win into Weaver. I mean, well, condition application in general is good into Weaver. But if the Weaver is, like, exceptional or, you know their way around the class very well, then they won't have any struggles with the condition application. Phaleth is just picking him off. Sir actually came in to try and give him an opportunity to disengage. Okay, so he portals back mid towards Aziki. Watch where Phaleth is. Phaleth is immediately getting that decap. He sees the opportunity. Hitlock might not get here. Uses the blink. Jaunt's back in, and now Phaleth is going to be possibly engaging in this 1v1. Now, one thing to note is Hitlock is the power Mesmer. So he was going to get hard pressured there by Phaleth no matter what. TP's back. Zintrex is sitting there waiting for him. That's good synergy. So Phaleth comes in. He picks him off while he's back on the node. And then Zintrex just sits there and waits for the teleport back because he was going to just try and kite. So Zintrex will cap that far node for the blue team. That's going to be a decap in mid from Phaleth. Really good rotations by Phaleth, by the way. Omega Gameplay finally getting ownership over that node after having the entire team come to back him up, it looks like. So obviously Hitlock was the only one that was on far. The rest of red team are actually here trying to answer to blue. Nobody is capping mid. Zintrax is Zintrax isn't just sitting AFK on the node, right? He's looking to see what they're doing. He wants to know where they're running out of base. He wants to know who's going to be respawning, and he just wants to be able to answer to it. Now, he can Greatsword 3 back in here. He did have Sword 2 as well, should he need to use it. But he will take a lot of spike damage in this matchup. So, very good use of, I believe that was Shield 5. Yeah, it was. So he's kind of forcing Hitlock to use a lot of his kit early on. Greatsword 3, Rampage, gets the extra heal. Or the extra health, I should say. Gets the +1 there from Sir. He's going to come straight out of Rampage and use full counter, right? There it is. There's the full counter. Greatsword 3. And Phaleth is here as well to maintain node ownership. So by using the Dagger Storm, he can punish both of the Mirages here. But he's almost out of kit. So Zintrax has to come back in now and resustain Phaleth. Phaleth goes down for overstaying. But Zintrax doesn't have any kit to answer to it. Like, he didn't even have shield stance for another 5 seconds. So, unfortunately, he had to give up ownership of that node. Sir kind of wants to leave. He's put his portal down already. What a waste. He mistimed that really, really bad. Okay, so Zintrax back in mid, contesting into Hitlock. Answer, once again, double Mirage. And Anesthesia is here to answer to that as well. So that's the Carry and Staff-Axe Torch Mirage. Red Node still have ownership over their close. Nobody contesting far. You've got Aeon. I mean, Aeon's doing this because Aeon knows that they have to get the decap here in order to win. And there's only 30 seconds left on the map, actually. So, yeah, it's 100% win for blue team. Which are the best dueling classes right now? Soul Beast, Hollow, Holosmith, Spellbreaker, Mirage. I think that's it. Okay, so female booty meta is playing Weaver. So this is Sword Dagger Weaver. Is it running Sage? Menders. Okay, Menders with Rune Leadership. Okay, so looking for the 1vx on the bunker. Lutiza is playing Firebrand support. This doesn't necessarily have any pairing. It's a rotational support, most likely, or looking to sustain at least a single node. Jailer is playing Trauma War, so the sword shield. Bull's Charge, Signet Stamina, Shake It Off as a duelist. This is more an offensive duelist, by the way. Then you have the double Revenant. So the double Sword, Staff, Marauder, Revenant. So these are both running Power Shiro, and they're both looking to create momentum for the red team. Blue team have a Firebrand support. Again, not with a pairing, not running with a Scourge or a Reaper. Mystesia is playing, again, Carrion, Amulet, with Sword, Torch, and Staff. So again, a Bruiser build. Phaleth, rotational damage dealer, is a Rifle Thief, making unblockable attacks on the Death's Judgment. Pain Lotus playing Power Shiro Rev, so exact same build as what Buff Shackling Wave and Bay Eevee are running, these two Revenants here. And then finally you have Zintrax playing the Spellbreaker, again running Trauma Warrior. So at the moment, I don't think it's really paying off for the red team. Because I haven't seen them create any momentum. They're actually being out-rotated by the blue team as we speak. And the red team are being forced to flood in towards their close. Jailer died in the 1v1 against the Mirage, so Mystesia did win into that warrior matchup. Zintrax has gone down, though, which, if he does go down infinitely, then this now leads to momentum play. So Aeon is probably going to be the next target of attack. And I would watch both of these Revenants as they try. Applying a lot of damage to Pain, or attempting to. Alright, so yeah, Aeon's the priority right now. So Aeon goes down, and they need to like make something happen now, one by one. So you can see that in this time, the Sword Dagger Weaver has pushed into the blue team close here, so that he get the neutral and effectively get the cap. Mystesia has given up on the overcommittal there to the team fight off node, and is going for the cap as well. You have a warrior 1v1 taking place, so both Trauma Warriors contesting one another. This matchup is pretty volatile, but it all comes down to debating. So Zintrax is just getting hit by everything. Okay, so that's Merciful Intervention wasted on the Firebrand. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Mystesia forced to use the F4 there, the Distortion. Aeon could go down to this as well because it's very punishing unblockable damage coming from the Revenant push. And we have the cannon that is currently being contested. So, yeah, Phaleth is currently answering in the 1v2. This is really fucking bad. I mean, Phaleth is trying his hardest to keep it neutral. He doesn't want to give them this because then they take the lead if they cap it. So they need to make sure they rotate into this ASAP. Baevi is going down. Dude, Lutiza, just sit on the node, dude. Just sit on the node. You've just given Aeon a chance to come in and cap that. Like, that's... I don't think I would have done that. I would have just sat there on the edge of it and capped it. So now, you know, they're just cleaving down the one Revenant. So again, kind of negating the momentum plays. Like, if the blue team are running something that is less momentum based and they create more momentum than you, then you kind of just fail. You fall flat. 1v1 still taking place, so Warrior into Sword Dagger Weaver. He actually has the Mage Tether on him right now, so he's gaining shitloads of might. He has 25 might stack. If he landed some form of, like, knockdown on the Weaver here, then he would absolutely hard cuck. But he's prioritizing node cap whilst Pain applies pressure. So again, caps the node. Pain is still chasing him off node, so forcing the Weaver to disengage. And now he's just leaving him go. So Red Team did manage to pick up their close node in this time being, and there is a contest over mid. However, Red Team do currently own it. And you can see the Firebrand and the Spellbreaker are here together. Signet of Mercy is up. Watch the channel. Not even attempting the channel, watching the channel. There it is. Gets the channel with the Signet of Mercy. And now resets and they turn it straight back on in Pain. So that's a good method of reset. Now they have a momentum base. So Phaleth is being chased down by Baevi. Baevi could probably catch up and finish this. Has Phase Traversal to use. Has Death Strike as well. Okay. Makes sense. No. Misses the reveal. He's immobilized from the rifle too. I mean, I probably would have just like Phase Traversal and just tried to punish, but now Baevi's forcing the disengage. Doesn't want to be chased by Phaleth. Doesn't want to give up. So blue team are going to be picking up possibly both side nodes shortly because Pain Lotus is obviously contesting into the Weaver. The Warrior is pushing in as well. Wait, Jailer's on his tail. Pog! So that was the that was Arcing Slice into Sword 3, I believe. Actually, no, he got Final Thrust off, which was Sword 3, and then he followed up with some autos. Phaleth here as well. So Phaleth has come to punish the Weaver. Weaver's getting hard punished. Pain has gone down as well. So here we actually see some momentum. However, the issue is they're not doing it quick enough. All right, so blue team, again, still the only node on ownership on the map. So red team could possibly get this, but Zintrex is back, dude. He's utilizing Rampage. He doesn't even want to give it over. That's huge. So the way he used Rampage very, very offensively there, but like you almost might have gone, oh, but he threw it away. But he didn't. He used the dash of the Rampage in order to get on the node before the Weaver capped it, because he knew that if the Weaver actually capped that, then he would have had to have sat there on top of the Weaver's node for a really long time. And it would have been a stalemate, probably, you know, until he got a +1. So it would have been unnecessary point gain for the red team. Red do pick up the cannon, pretty much uncontested there. They do get the kill on the Weaver, and you can see the rotation of the Revenant coming in and the Spellbreaker. They need to ensure that the Weaver stays down. They don't want to be giving that a res opportunity. And then you have Jailer, who did have Pain Lotus hard punishing. So that's why they're looking to go straight onto the Rev, because they know that he is the one that's going to be killing the Warrior, if anybody. Gets pulled by the Mage Pain Tether. Full counter. They don't trigger it. Shackling Wave is probably priority target. So now this is like this is really weird for the blue team, because they have 3 people investing in a 3v2. Shackling Wave is going to get hard punished here. Gets the phase retreat off. And there we go. So they all overcommit. Bait Eevee could be next, but Jailer is still alive in this, what was a very equal matchup. Pain Lotus actually well times the Infused Light. Lands the Bull's Charge there, point blank into the Revenant. So Pain should not be in this 1v1. This is not something that's viable for him. If he gets stunlocked one more time, he's fucked. Someone needs to come in here. And this is bad for the SD Weaver as well. This person should not be here. The reason that this Weaver should not be here is because they are effectively a duelist. So all they've done is come and +1 a duelist with a duelist. That's bad. Now that rotation right there is ridiculous. Okay? Absolutely ridiculous. Could have been in mid. Could have been doing something in mid, just creating some sort of pressure. Could have been on far. Could have been ready on like fucking on the bell. You know, it's a very stupid rotation, to be honest. To push into a warrior as a duelist, that's dumb. Unless you're a Hollow-Smith, it's dumb. You don't +1 as an Ellie. You are the one that gets +1 as an Ellie. Okay. Alright, so blue team holding that midpoint neutral. They do still have that cap on close as well. But the red team are ahead at the moment. And the one thing the blue team need to do here is not give up this cannon. Because if they do, then the red team get plus 50 points, I believe, off this one. So Bait Eevee, you want to watch out to see when he uses Infused Light. That's Infused Light coverage. That's 3 seconds. Failure is waiting for it. Now Bait Eevee's having to give up the only... That is disgusting. Shackling Wave through the boxes. Mystesia's going to get the res here. And now Bait Eevee's possibly going to go down unless they get resustained. That was ridiculous. That was really good bait by Bait Eevee. Just completely one-shot Failure. They're trying to get the res. Dagger Storm on top of the body to apply as much condition damage and power damage whilst evading as well. Wait, it doesn't... Oh, it does apply bleeding. I knew it had some condition application. I knew it did. So that was the reset. DP. Heartseeker spam Phaleth. Jesus. Alright, so now Phaleth is possibly looking to get the decap, which he is. He's pushing towards the dock there. Blue team do have the contest over mid. They get the cannon, plus 50 points, and the game has reset once again. So the red team were very far ahead. Now the blue team is ahead. So this has just kind of seemed to have gone back and forth a lot here. Mystesia is currently invested as a Connie Mirage into the 1v1 into Jailer. If Jailer lands like a Mage Bane Tether, this is really, really good. Does not want to stand in the Staff 5 though. Shield 5 has the Mage Bane Tether as well, so might stacking very, very high right now, 25 stacks. One full counter proc could be really, really good here. Nobody triggers it, that's punishing. That's the Shield 4. Gets the kill on Mystesia before Mystesia can actually go through. That is huge. So Zintrex actually tried to get the res on a Mystesia there. Went through the portal. And now you can see the Firebrand is here to resustain Jailer in this this 1v2. That's actually Zintrex's Mage Tether there, I think. Yeah, it's hard to tell because they both had like such ridiculous uptime of might there. They both had 25 stack. Gets the full counter off into Jailer. Rampage. Forcing the disengage. Aeon could go down here if hard punished by both. Trying to fucking just kite as much as possible. Meanwhile, the red team did commit to their close node. They got a kill on Pain Lotus. Mid node is actually still neutral, but being picked up by the blue team. And Cannon is in play in approximately 18 seconds. So blue team needs to answer this because otherwise, again, red team will get 50 points and take the lead once more. So Aeon is probably the one person who should be on this. However, the red team are creating the actual momentum at the right time. So Jailer's going to sit here on this node. Red team are going to flock in towards Bell. It's going to be attempted to be answered to by the Mirage and the Deadeye collectively. Phaleth needs to be very, very careful here because Phaleth could be a rally bot effectively. Shadow shots in. Doesn't have a reset on Mercy. Does have Shadow Step for disengage. Now the Firebrand is there as well. That's pretty punishing. Jailer is dead off node. Zintrex gets the decap of the single node that they had, but this is still going to be a flat point gain for the red team. I don't see the blue team contesting this. Oh, wait, Aeon did actually get here. That's really fucking smart. So I believe that actually Mystesia ported out. Just ported back in as well, though. But Mystesia ported out, picked up Veneon, brought him back, and now they have the sustain to actually answer to the cannon. Meanwhile, blue team do have double node tick, so the red team need to be careful not to overcommit here. So somebody needs to be going and getting that decap. Phelan is picking up their fucking red team close as well, whilst the red team very much so overcommit. So even if this is really smart play by the blue team, because what they're doing is they're overcommitting so much to this single node that they're not letting the red team have the pickup, but they have all 3 nodes. Jailer is now, he just self-resed and got that decap there. But you see, even if the red team get this cannon now, it doesn't matter. Dude, that's really, really, really smart play. They all commit to that, and they prevented the cap, but they made so many points in the process. Really smart rotation there by Phaleth. And that's it. That's it, because when they cap this, it's going to be plus 75, and they'll go up to 550 or whatever. And there we go. That's the win. So that game was so close. So close. I apologize. All right, 429. Let's get into this. Okay, so the red team, they have a 5-round support with Signet and Mercy Res. This is in pairing to nobody, so they don't have a specific team fighter. He's just probably going to be rotating and supporting as and when necessary. They have a Power Shiver Rev, rotational +1. Tramadex playing Tremor War, of course, the Strength Discipline, Sword Shield, Great Sword build. Very offensive duelist. Boyce playing Soul Beast. This is probably... That's actually Axe. Yeah, he's running Axe. So, Axe Sword Warhorn with the Paladins and Rune of the Revenant with Wilderness Survival, Nature Magic, and Soul Beast. So, does have the Owl, probably has Plasma Pig as well, of course, and just wants the insane uptime on that, on the Plasma Boons. It's insane how many boons he has right now. I mean, there's a reason why we call this the Boon Beast. And then finally you have Tayskin, who is playing... this looks like Hollow X. He's still running Kinetic Battery, but he does have the Power Wrench. So he's not opting to run Adrenal Implant for the Endurance regeneration, but he wants the Quickness and Super Speed after using the F1 to F5. Does have Hollow Elixir X instead of the Prime Light Beam as well. Each one is, you know, viable. It's just the problem with Elixir X is that it is RNG. So if you want more consistent output, then... It definitely makes sense to run Prime Light Beam, but I don't think, like, Tayskin's too concerned with that. Dauntless is running Dagger Shield, so this is the meta Spellbreaker. So this is, like, the... Other than Tremor War, this is more of, like, the defensive anti-condition build. It's actually... It gets hard punished by the Tremor War build, as you can see. There's too much Might stack on Tramadex. He gets, like, 25 stacks of Might every single time he has his Mage Tether. I mean, he's literally just lost it, but look. He's got 25 stacks still, even though the dude's been dead for like fucking 5 seconds. So it makes him very, very hard to actually fight into in a duel. Reliable Hospital is playing 5-round support. Again, this is not necessarily in pairing to anybody either. It's more of a rotational support and will be making its way around nodes where possible. In this instance, Reliable Hospital is looking after the node. Groshaton is playing... Now, he messaged me. Groshaton messaged me and actually told me what this build is. It is not, it's not Harrier, it's Radiance, is what he said it's called. So he runs Mender's Amulet with Rune of the Traveler, but he calls it Radiance. So Radiance, Honor, and Firebrand with Axe, Shield, and Sword Focus. Again, Rune of the Traveler and Mender's Amulet. It's more of like a side node duelist. He's looking to create numbers advantages and at least win the 1v1s. So again, it's not as sustainable as like the likes of a Spellbreaker, but it's going to be something that sustains a 1v1 relatively easily. Flanzy is playing, this is Carrion Amulet, this is Mirage, so at least running Axe Torch and Staff. So again, meta build. This is a 1v1 Bruiser. And then Sakiki finally is playing Power Shiver Rev. So this is a rotational +1, looking to make high burst rotations. And he actually did get the interrupt there on shoot. Being chased up by Tayskin, that's a really smart play by Sakiki. He's playing back, waiting for the resustain from Reliable Hospital. And now Tayskin's going to be forced to answer that in a 1v2. He's rotating back mid, trying to get the decap in mid. Stillness was picked up by the red team as well. So blue team aren't necessarily like, they're not that far behind. It's only 100 points. It has been 4 minutes, so 100 points in 4 minutes is not that bad. But it does seem that the red team are like rotating very, very effectively. So you can see as soon as Tasken was hard punished in the 1v2, Boyce and the Firebrand for the red team were here immediately to respond to that. So now both of them are like... So at least the Firebrand is going to be pushed away. Skiki did disengage as well. I think he was rezzed by Signet of Mercy. So... Yeah, he was. So, again, Tasken almost capping that node there. Now, Skiki and Reliable Hospital are going to answer to Tasken yet again. And here comes the Firebrand to re-sustain Tasken. I would actually think that the Revenant will do more consistent damage into this matchup. Here's the +1 from Grosjeton as well. So, Grosjeton's going to be pumping out some power damage and a little bit of conditions, applying a ton of weakness as well. Tramadex is down as well. So Dauntless almost gets the stomp on Tramadex, but Tramadex interrupts him with BM. And then we have the red team Revenant who is sitting there attempting to be interrupting like anything that they were trying to do. I was kind of thinking that he might go on to Flan Z, but he didn't overcommit. I guess it's possible that he could have been you know, shut down by Dauntless's shield 4 or something. So now Dauntless obviously looking for the numbers disadvantage. He is pushing in too far to contest into Boyce. And what is Tramadex doing? Straight out of base, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to my close node. I'm capping this. So once again, Warriors proving that they should be on the side nodes. And, you know, looking for the 1v2s. He's going to cap this node and then possibly run out, look around, see what people are doing. Here comes Flanzy. So Flanzy and Grosjeton actually both answering to Tramadex simultaneously. Grosjeton probably can't sustain this by himself, so it makes sense for the condition application of Flanzy to be here. However, they are both 1v1 duelers. So, you know, both these bruisers being in the same place at the same time is pretty detrimental to the blue team. They should have themselves spread. Like, for example, Flanzy should probably be mid, and Grosjeton could probably be here in a 1v1 by himself. That said, the +1 of the Revenant there just came in and absolutely dominated Grosjeton, so he's being forced away from the node on the respawn. He's back up in 12 seconds. Sakiki and Dauntless into Tasken. Tasken doesn't really have any form of disengage here. He's trying to utilize the little pole there, but unfortunately, not enough. I've just realized Dauntless does have the Mage Tether as well. So they are both running the 25 might stack. I guess that's changed. I think actually Ajax runs this build. So I thought that this build was the anti-Condi build that you ran with Revenge Counter. But I guess, like, in order for him to contest into the likes of Tramadex, then he would need the Mage Tether. So, obviously, Tranquility's in play right now. That will cap all 3 nodes when channeled. And then Stillness is in play as well. This will grant double point gain to anybody that is on the team that pick it up. Skiki is going for it. Doesn't actually have anybody immediately to contest. Tasken is pushing up, but I don't think they'll get it. There we go. So, Sakiki has the Stillness, and now blue team are ticking double nodes. If I was him, I probably would have finished off that Revenant because anybody can come and, like... Actually, no. Tasken pushed into mid to answer to Boyce's struggles. He's now actually trying to peel pretty heavily. Boyce needs to get, like, Trollungun off. He did. Does have the evade on the sword, too, coming up in a moment. That was the F1 on the Beast Mode Bird. And then he's straight away disengaged. So, Plasma? Feathers. Omega lol. Enviously! What's up, dude? 6 months, baby. Thank you very much. Much love, man. So, blue team actually picked up double nodes, and they get the Stillness coming in as well. So, what's important here is that the blue team do maintain ownership over these nodes. Boyce is pushing out for this, right? He sees that there is a point available for contest, and he's going for it. Now, Grosjeton is in close pursuit, but he's not going to get there before Boyce actually gets the decap. So what Boyce is going to have to do with Grosjeton is to hold it neutral. Again, it's too late now. Can he even win this? What was he going to do? Did he have, like... He had no Judge's Intervention to teleport in? I guess maybe he can sustain this for a little while, but he's going to force the 1v2. He'll force somebody to come to him and help him out. But either way, this maintains the point neutral. Blue team gave up both nodes that they had for the Stillness buff, so again, that's wasted. There should be 2 people down here contesting Tranquility. There we go. There, we found them. So the blue team Warrior and the red team Firebrand just running about like monkeys, healing himself up. Dauntless is just spamming 1. He's just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Like, this is what this is gonna, you know, consist of until probably somebody else comes down and tries to create some havoc and create a 2v1. So again, red team could commit here to Tranquility if they wanted to. Blue team need to get somebody to decap on red team close. Again, they don't really have anybody to give up to that. The red team Revenant is currently, this is a Bindu, he's currently timing out. Oh, not timing out, bleeding out. So this means that blue team do have the numbers advantage. They are coming back very, very slowly, coming back towards what this red team gain is. Now, blue team, one thing to note is blue team are getting more kills on the red team. Red team haven't actually been getting that many kills. They have 2 kills this entire game, and that's in like 9.5 minutes. So blue team are actually outplaying them in kills. Red team are out-rotating them, okay? And they've got better duelists, so they're actually maintaining ownership of these nodes. It's not all about kills all the time. So, again, Grosjeton is here to answer to the Revenant. He's going to get hard pressured by the Revenant as well. Forced away from the node. Boyce is going to be capping this node by himself. Tramadex has gone down outside of the blue team spawn. So blue team are going to hold the mid and the close node. They need stillness to really apply as much as possible for this gain. And then, again, if they get the decap here, that'll be even better. Anybody still contesting Tranquility? They still have the Firebrand and the Warrior running around in circles. It's just so... They might as well just stand still next to one another. It's so stupid. But actually, I would say that the red team are at a disadvantage here. And the reason they're at the disadvantage is the only thing that's actually coincided with the blue team coming back is the fact that the red team Firebrand is sat down here at Tranquility. The Firebrand is the one that's just sat here doing nothing. And he should be sustaining people. So Boyce is now close. Blue team overcommit to the stillness and actually gave up their node ownership. So again, Grosjeton is sitting here looking to hold mid. Stillness attempting to be picked up by Flan, but unable to do it because Tramadex stopped him. That's a lot of damage on a Tramadex. But Tramadex does have the mage tether directly onto Flan as well. He's going to try and pull him down the hole. That's really smart play by Tramadex. He just removed the Mesmer from the fight. Tramadex might go down here, though. Depends how much he's actually got left to answer to it. And then he disengages by going down as well. Now, this is going to change the fight at the bottom because now we've got additional people down here. No? Okay, everybody's just letting that continue. Fine. All right, so Tramadex rotates straight mid. Answer to... Oh, I thought that was by Flan Z, but no, he gets the decap straight away. That's really good for the red team. Red team have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to maintain this win. Tranquility is still in play. Blue team Firebrand has gone down outside stillness. I believe red team actually got stillness there. So yeah, I think the red team could actually win this if they maintain ownership over the red team close. They're going to be capping mid as we speak. And now they've got the red team Revenant here as well. So they've kind of traded places. You see that Boyce disengaged a little bit. So the Revenant came in, held the node. He disengaged so that he could just resustain a little bit without, losing out. And now the Revenant possibly goes down here, which would be pretty bad, actually. Okay, so the Grosjeton's going to be going for this. Gets the Stomp. Now they want to focus on the decap. No. Okay, they capped all 3 nodes. I wasn't paying attention. I was just staring at the note. Not a single Necro. No Scourge. I think that was a good game. It showcases that, rotations beat everything. If you look at that timeline, right? Look at the timeline. Red team kills. Non-existent. I'm getting really unlucky with these teams. Saru's DC'd. Or he's relogging. Oscar and Joby. Phelan was Hellset's teammate. He won ANET CSL PvP tourney in 2016. Okay, I wasn't playing the game then. I started playing this game in 2017. I'm relatively new to the community as far as, this goes. I'm trying to figure out if, this game is worth watching because... It seems pretty one-sided, based on, the matchup, but... Oh, man, do I invest time into this? I'll tell you what, I'll talk about this, but I'm not going to put this one on YouTube. Because I don't think that it's worth it. But, just in case, right? Next game. I mean, it's not fair to throw this away, so I don't really want to. The blue team have a chance to bring it back, so it's not worth, dismissing. Okay, Hakaishin is playing, this looks like meta Spellbreaker. So he's actually got Featherfoot Graze, Shake It Off, and Endure Pain. So he's going to be running Defense Discipline, probably Dagger Shield. Yeah, Dagger Shield, there's the Demolishers with the Great Sword, and Defense Discipline. So this is just the meta build. It's not Tremor War. Celofrag is playing his Sword Dagger Weaver. I'm assuming anyway. Yeah, Sword Dagger with Menders and Rune Leadership. This is a duelist build. It's looking for the 1vx. Celofrag is probably one of the best weavers in PvP at the moment, I would say. Ithalium is playing... This is Sword Dagger Thief. So this is a rotational +1. It's core. He almost killed himself with that drop. He, honestly... If he'd like jumped at a slightly higher arc as he jumped off that, he would have died. He would have died. And then Tibbs is playing Tremor. Oh, actually, wait. No, he's not. He's got Signet Stamina. He's got Shake It Off. He's got Bull's Charge, but he's got Dagger Shield instead of Sword Shield. So this is essentially... This looks like Tremor War, but he's using Dagger Shield instead. And does have the Strength Discipline trait line, so yeah, it's pretty much there. It's pretty much the same thing. Tibbs does go down to the Spike of Saru. And then Omega Gameplay is also playing the Sword Dagger Weaver build. So this, again, is Rune of Divinity... Sword Dagger with Mender's Amulet. Pretty much exactly the same build as Celofrag. Grosjeton is playing his Radiance Firebrand build. So this is more of like a 1v1 bruiser. It's not a support. It is somebody who looks for the 1v1s. He's going to be on a side note by himself. As you can see right now, he's by himself. He runs offensive mantras. Like he's got Mantra of Truth. So he's got the weakness application and vulnerability stacks. But he still has a ton of self-sustain. And he will be applying a lot of damage with his Tome of Justice. Joby is playing Scourge, so 26-1-2. This probably... so he's running Deadshot, Curse of Sorry Thing. Infernal Bloodstorm might be running Blood Magic. No, okay, so he's got Wanderers. Wanderers Amulet with Curse of Sorry Thing again. I only know it's Wanderers because he's got such a low health ball. Saru is playing Power Shatter Mirage. So this, again, is a rotational +1. Saru just came in and shit all over both of those simultaneously. God damn, that's a lot of damage. And then Oscar is playing the Firebrand support, and he is the one that is impairing to one or both of those Scourges. Now, the Scourges are... I would say it's not really good to have double Scourge. I don't think that like double Scourge actually brings that much to a team. They're very, very susceptible to damage when they're left by themselves, and because, like, you know... Joby is being sustained by Oscar, but then who is Bloodstorm being, you know, sustained by? So he's going to be here by himself. All it takes is, like, you know, Tibbs to come in and fight him, and then he's going to be hard pressured. So he requires somebody to be playing with him simultaneously, you know, next to him, in order for him to actually, you know, be paid off as a valid, you know, choice for the team. He will lose the majority of 1v1s. So it's going to be reliant on, like, maybe even Grosjeton rotating in, or Oscar just being aware that he essentially has to sustain both of these guys. So that's good choice by Oscar to rotate in towards Infernal. Joby is here as well. So now they have both Scourge and Firebrand in the same place at the same time. That's bad. You've got two team fighters and one support in the same place at the same time. Really bad, and that will translate across the map. Saru getting picked off by Tibbs on this Great Sword 5, so he gets a mass load of damage. Infernal Blossom tries to come in for the res, hasn't even put a shade under. Oscar's coming in as well, so if Oscar actually gets in on this, then Tibbs is going to lose out. Exactly, there we go. So that was the Merciful Intervention on the res. So Joby is back here with Oscar. Now it's Scourge with Firebrand against a Spellbreaker. Tibbs obviously now being forced to disengage away back towards... So wait, this is now double Spellbreak into Joby. Joby is hard pressured. Oscar is around as well. Can come and answer this. Tibbs will die to the condition pressure. He doesn't have any utilities left. Rip. Really good use of the fear as well. So he applied the torment before he feared him. So then the other Spellbreaker lifts him up. So red team are still ahead by, like, what, 34 points? They still have their close node, answer to by Celofrag. Celofrag can get hard spiked by Saru as well, so he needs to be careful. Celofrag does have a YouTube, by the way. If you wanted to learn how to play Sword Dagger Weaver, I do recommend watching his videos. He is actually giving away... oh, what is it? He's giving away an Ember Infusion or something. I can't remember what it is. It's either... Oh, no, that's right. He just hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers. And he's giving away 10,000 gold. Yeah, Chak Egg. I haven't entered it because I didn't want to be a little fucking, like, needy bitch. But, you know, because I always feel weird. Like, as a streamer, I feel like I shouldn't enter the giveaways of other people. And whenever I do it, I like, say, for example, if I go into somebody else's stream and I enter a giveaway, I would always give it either back or give it to somebody else in the chat. All right? And I would meme on it. But I would not take it for myself. I feel like really cheap. So I definitely do recommend going to this guy's YouTube. Go enter his giveaway. Get involved in his videos. He does a lot for PvP in general. You know, making Weaver exciting, which, you know, is quite hard to do in itself. If he sustains this, that's disgusting. He actually manages to disengage. Holy shit. Like, well played, dude. He, like, went through all of his condition removal and resustained. Saru is here, though, to land that spike. Celerag doesn't have much left. He's got to be really careful. Holy shit. He's still alive. It's disgusting that he's still alive. He doesn't have anything left now. So this game is very, very close. This is on a Thalion to kind of turn this. He's not going to win this 1v2 back, so he needs to just, like, disengage. He knows that. You see, if I was him, I probably would come back in and, like, fight onto Saru. I would have, like, because he had Shadow Step return up, I would have just returned on the Shadow Step, probably Sword 2'd back in. He had Steel up, so he probably could have gone in, got Consumed Plasma from Saru and just fucked him up. You know, because Joby was around here, so it would have happened so quick, Joby wouldn't have been able to respond to that. And now Athalium is coming back in with Tibbs. Again, like, he's creating the +1, which in itself is not bad. It's now a 2v2. But now he's leaving Tibbs in the 1v2. This is probably more beneficial, actually. This is a 2v... He's now picking the 2v1. It's clever. Instead of actually creating the equal fight, he's gone for the unequal fight and the unbalanced fight, and now he wants to win into Infernal Bloodstorm, as long as the Mega Gameplay does stay involved in this. Oscar rotates back in. If Infernal Bloodstorm does go down, he does have Signet of Mercy to get the res, but the thing is that there's not really any amount of damage that Athalium can do that's going to counter the healing pressure of Oscar. So now he's pushing back out towards Tibbs. Oh, wait, towards Celefrag, even. Tibbs and Celefrag actually swap places. So, wait, no, did Tibbs die? He must have died. He just came out of spawn. I just missed that. So, yeah, blue team are actually making a comeback here. This is much better for them. I think they've found their sort of, like, their wind here. They've got ownership over mid, being contested by the Scourge. The Scourge is obviously being contested by the rotations of Oscar. Oscar's doing a really good job at rotating around the map and creating pressure. He's resustaining the pressure that's being applied by the red team. So, you know, as much as they think they're going to get Joby down, Oscar's just going to fucking resustain him. And it's going to undo all of the pressure that they previously applied. So now Celefrag is going to go down in this 1v3. Joby's going to, like... I thought he was going to be able to, like, get the fear off, but he didn't. Athalium disengages, again, rotating back mid, comes in with a +1 onto Bloodstorm, but Oscar is not here to answer to it. So, unfortunately, Infernal Bloodstorm might go down. He does go down. They do get the kill. Omega Gameplay does get the decap there. So, Oscar should have been more on the ball there. He probably shouldn't have over-invested there. And then Oscar would have been able to probably rotate back mid quicker to get that... resustain. But that said, it still remains neutral. Red team do have the close node still. Nobody's really rotated into that. Grosjeton's going to push into that, obviously, because, you know, being the 1v1 bruiser, he wants somebody to answer to him. Saru still investing into Tibbs. Gets +1 by Athalium. Infernal Blossom comes in, lands the F4. Tibbs does go down. Athalium does get Saru down as well. Saru gets rezzed by Infernal Bloodstorm, and now I guess Saru can actually chase up on the Thief. He's got pretty decent mobility to keep up with this. Athalium was clever, used his Sword 2 towards the mid, I believe. He obviously got himself a target, came straight through. That's the return on the Sword 2. Oh no, it was a Sword 2 active. Saru comes back in, lands the spike. Omega Gameplay will get this res. Everybody's got to apply as much as they can here. This is really important. Like, if the blue team want to come back from this, they need to get the red team on respawn. So with Athalium going down there would have been really important. They are still on a 5v4. Blue team do have their close nodes still. Grosjeton did push into Fies, attempted to get the decap in towards Celefrag. Celefrag will sustain this 1v1 easily. But now with Saru's here and Joby, Celefrag's going to be forced to disengage. However, Tibbs and both Spellbreakers are on the same node. That's 3 Duelists on one node. That's 2 Spellbreakers and a Weaver on a single node. That's really bad. So now red team have given up the other 2 nodes, as you can see, because they've they put all their eggs in one basket. That's really, really bad. So they need to spread. They need to spread so bad here. Actually, maybe not, because they have 55 seconds left on the clock. 55, that's going to be a potential 25 points. If the blue team wipe the red team out and they hold both nodes here and the red team get the decap here, then blue team win. Blue team will win here. Come on, get a mega gameplay down, get the decap, you win the game, I promise you. There's 10 points in this. Hold both nodes. Don't let Tibbs get anything. Blue team, bring this back. Holy shit, that's a win, dude. That's 100% a win. There's no... Red team can't do anything now. They actually can't. Red team get the decap. It doesn't matter. They get the cap on the close node and they have the mid. Dude, this is huge. This is actually clap. All right, fuck this, dude. I'm putting this on YouTube. Fuck. That was a good game. I was not expecting that. I mean, we missed out on the first 4 minutes, but Jesus, it literally finished with 3 seconds left on the clock. Pog champ, man. Look at that comeback. Dude, red team barely got any kills. Blue team were farming. Whoa.